This week, I found myself driving 3 hours through Los Angeles traffic to go to a local comic book shop in hopes of meeting the writer of one of my favorite comic books, The Unstoppable Doom Patrol by Dennis Culver. When I arrived, I spent some treasured moments in pleasant conversation with the writer about his stories and ideas, and was even able to get an autographed copy of his book. Some might ask why I would travel so far for something as childish as a comic book. What is it about these stories that possesses readers like me to journey so far to get them? Far from being just simple picture books, comics have something of deeper value to offer us. There is something of value here even for the church, and for a young Franciscan friar like myself. Comic book art legend Jack Kirby answered best. For him, as for me, he believed, quote, "All our myths, all our legends reflect our addiction to create legends. I felt it was a human quality, and I felt I had that quality within myself," unquote. Franciscans love stories. From conversations around the dinner table to the hagiographies of St. Francis and the early brothers themselves, Franciscans use storytelling as a way to engage with the world around them and preach the gospel of Jesus. Brother Roy Gasnick, OFM, was one such Franciscan who knew the power of the hero's journey and used modern forms of storytelling to tell the modern world about a St. Francis with which they could empathize and relate to. In 1980, Brother Roy, then director of Holy Name's Communication Office, collaborated with Marvel Comics to create the book St. Francis of Assisi, Brother of the Universe, in which he relays the story of the 11th century saint in colorful, pop comic book style. To quote Roy Gasnick, "Church? Comics? St. Francis? Superheroes? Well, why not? If we can call Superman and Captain America superheroes in our magazines, then how much more so is St. Francis? He has shaped events and influenced millions of people's minds, particularly the young, for centuries. What a perfectly ironic and evangelizing place for St. Francis to be in. It has always been my goal as a Franciscan friar to bring the church to the people. I still get amazed that of so many projects I was involved in, the one that keeps popping up for attention is the comic books." This comic book not only gave a fairly accurate historical portrait of the saint's life, but provided dramatic images which acted like modern iconography. This book was so effective that by 2006, it had already sold over 1 million copies internationally. So why comic books? Why stories? Reality is not just composed of objects and things, but people and their experiences. As Franciscans, we cherish every person and all peoples. We humbly hold the stories of all the people that the Spirit has brought into our lives. And we look for those people especially on the margins of life, whose story is unheard and unsung in the world. Why comic books? Well, why not?